Westbrook, whose team's 6-game win streak happens to line up with his 6-game streak of triple-doubles. The streak began the day after Thanksgiving when Russ went for 36 points, 11 rebounds, and 17 assists in the Thunder's win in Denver. A night later, Russ put up just 17 points with 13 boards and 15 dimes in OKC's home win over the Detroit Pistons. On November 28th, the point guard filled it up with 27 points, 17 boards, 14 helpers as the Thunder knocked off the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. 2 nights later, Westbrook finished with 35, 14, and 11, including the game-tying 3 at the end of regulation as the Thunder beat the Wizards in overtime. You guys getting a theme here? Sunday, Russ went for 28, 17, 12 assists in OKC's win over the Pelicans. Then on Monday, Russell became just the 4th player in league history with 6 straight triple-doubles. The numbers 32, 13, and 12. And the Thunder's come from behind win over the Hawks. And now I'm starting to root against him. Otherwise, I might have to read another one of those.
That was long.
That was long. After November with 7 triple-doubles, Westbrook is already 2 for 2 in December. 12 more games to go on the calendar starting tonight. So given his current pace, guys, Russ has a shot to put together the most triple-doubles in a single month, the mark held by, as you saw, Wilt Chamberlain, who had 11 in March of 1968. And we talk about this ad nauseum for good reason, because the numbers are historic and because the Thunder are winning right now, which is an important point. Is there a point for you as a coach where it's too much, Russ, for the good of the team and for the good of Russ?
Well, you would think that, but when you look at the numbers and dive inside, he's only playing about 35, 36 minutes a game, which is not a lot. And David, you know this. You play your superstars 40, 45 minutes a game. So he's only playing about 36 minutes a game. And then you look at how he's elevated his teammates. Yeah. That's the thing that's been amazing to me. He's elevated these guys. He's taking a group of young players, and he's leading them. They're winning their division. They're winning. They're playing tough defense. They're moving the basketball. And Russ is just not dominating the basketball. When you're getting 10 to 15 assists a game, you're not dominating the basketball. You're moving the basketball, and he's picking his spots offensively, when to take over and when to get everyone else involved. And I've been one of the people saying, I've enjoyed watching this, but I didn't think he could do it. I'm on the other side now. I think it's not a question of can he do it. I think he's going to do it. And I think OKC, where they are right now with their young players, they need him to be this Russell Westbrook if they're going to win and get into the playoffs and make some noise.
That to me is the larger point, that they need these kind of numbers out of him, and you have an MVP vote. For me, if he's like 5th or 4th, he's probably the guy with his team.
Yeah, and I think somebody had asked me online if they thought Westbrook could win the MVP, and my point was he's probably not going to be first on a lot of ballots, but I guarantee you're going to be second on just about every ballot.
At least,
and
right?
so from that standpoint, yeah, he probably can win this thing because he's going to have all the second-place votes and more than a few first-place votes.
But to me, it's a no-brainer, David. Yeah. It's a no-brainer. I mean, he's averaging a triple-double, and his team is winning. And they're a very young team, and arguably the second best player in the league, and Kevin Durant walked out the door and went and joined Golden State. And everyone thought they were going to collapse. Yeah. And they started off great, then they hit a lull where they lost 5 or 6 in a row, and now they've picked it back up. But his play has been consistent. It's been spectacular. And this young man, I'm telling you, it's must-see TV when he's playing.
Yeah.
Forget everybody else. You have to watch him because no one plays with the toughness, the energy, and as competitive as he played. And it is permeating throughout their team. Those guys play hard, and they believe in him.
As they should. Same argument could be made for James Harden, who's going to be right in that conversation if things continue the way they go right now. As you know, Oscar Robertson is the only player to ever average a triple-double. That was in 61-62. But on a per-minute and per-possession basis, Russ is doing it much more efficiently. He's getting his 31, 11, and 11 in about 8.5 fewer minutes than Robertson's 31, 13, and 11 that season. And if you look at pace, which measures possessions per 48 minutes, Oscar was doing his thing at a time when the game was much, much faster, considerably faster, when you saw guys, put up those ridiculous 25 and 30 rebound nights on a semi-regular basis. It's a very different game than in the 1960s. I know. It was a very, very different game.
I'm never going to downplay what Oscar Robertson did. He was unbelievable. But what impresses me about Westbrook the most is that you look at it and you go, okay, there's got to be something else here. He's second in the league in player efficiency. Second.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not shooting 9 for 31 every game. You know what I mean? So he's doing it in a very efficient way, as you mentioned. But the Big O, that's the one guy I just bow down to. I don't even say anything to him when I see him because he was, from what the old guys have told me about him, and just kind of the respect he demanded on the court every game, and how he made grown men,
like Westbrook, though.
grown men cry.
Right?
Yeah.
From everybody, opposing teams.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. So there's a lot of similarities there. So what Westbrook, just to be in the conversation with Oscar Robertson, you're doing something phenomenal.
You know what's amazing to me? Now all of a sudden, is he playing too hard?
Yeah.
Is he playing too much?
Yeah.
You know, we're never happy.
Never satisfied.
Yeah, when the guy's playing 45 minutes a game, or they're playing too much. He's playing 35 minutes a game. And you ask players, they want to play. No players are happy when they come out the game, whether it's they've played 14 straight minutes or whatever. Players want to play. And when you look at how he's playing, like D.A. said, he's efficient, but he plays both ends of the floor. But the thing, again, that's most impressive to me, how he's elevated. Great players supposed to elevate their teammates.
Right.
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett made me a better basketball player when I was on the floor with him. Russ has made his entire team better when they're on the court, and that's what great players do. And we got to start talking about Russ in a different light. Not just a good player, but a great player and a potential Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to let up. It's just not in his DNA.
I think there's a certain reluctance among a faction of fans who still don't see Russ as a pure point guard. And, okay, get over that. He's not. He's not. But there are. That's not really a thing anymore for the most part.
Name one.
And secondly, the ferocity with which he plays and the speed at which he plays takes away some of the elegance you might see from other players because he's not playing at their pace. Right. He's playing at a pace that no one else can handle.
No, and you talked to Coach. I talked to Mike Malone last night from Denver, and it was just, you can't guard this guy. You can't stay in front of him.
No.
His motor is revved so high that even the greatest athletes in the world can't stay in front of this guy. And once he gets a shoulder into it, it's over.
But yeah, he's intelligent also.
Yeah.
Because he's getting double teamed. You're throwing every defense at him. He sees it. So Russ is smart. People don't give him credit. He's looking at the defense coming at him, and he's picking them apart. When you double him, he moves the ball before the trap comes. You know, when you give that token black or that show, he just hesitates, keeps that guard on his hip, and he turns the corner anyway. And then when he gets to the basket, it's lights out. He's finishing no matter who's there. And the thing that's amazing, the rebounding.
Yeah. That's the one that blows me away.
Guys in the league. No more can a big guy say, talk about rebounding.
Right.
He's going out there getting 17 some nights. He's averaging 10-plus rebounds a game at 6'2", at the point guard position.
That's the number that blows me away because of his usage rate, which is on a historically record-setting pace right now. He's going to score. Obviously, he's going to get double digits, and he's likely going to get the assists. He's got to go get the rebounds.
When I first started covering the NBA, I covered the Washington Bullets. Darrell Walker was a 6'5" guard. He's now the head coach at Clark Atlanta. Led the team in rebounding, and was averaging like 9 points a game. Okay, he wasn't averaging 26. Okay, and he wasn't averaging 14 assists either. And Darrell was like exhausted at the end of every game. You know, for him to do this and score and get everybody else. Sam, your point was the salient and the only point that matters to me when you talk about Westbrook. This team was built with Kevin Durant in mind.
Absolutely.
This team was built on the assumption that Kevin Durant was going to be back.
They made pre-draft trades on that assumption.
The whole point of everything they did was, okay, we're going to have Durant back, so we need a third scorer. Oladipo's going to be our third scorer next year, along with Westbrook and Durant. And so when you take out 28 points out of the lineup and everything else that KD did and the attention that it's amazing. It's amazing what he's doing.